Oklahoma City, a place known for its sprawling plains and friendly faces, became the backdrop for a shocking crime. Detective Michael Nealy, a rising star in the Oklahoma City Police Department, found himself at the heart of a tragedy. It was a case that would not only test his skills, but also challenge his very identity. The death of Police Chief Richard Walker sent shockwaves through the community. Nealy, known for his dedication and sharp instincts, had been a close friend of Chief Walker. They had risen through the ranks together, sharing a passion for justice and a commitment to protecting their city. However, the investigation into Walker's death took a sinister turn, casting a dark shadow over Nealy's reputation. The detective soon found himself transformed from a respected investigator to the prime suspect in a murder case. The lines between duty and suspicion blurred, creating a tense and complex drama. This was not just another case for Nealy, it was a fight for his freedom, his integrity, and his sanity. The investigation into Chief Walker's death would uncover secrets, expose hidden resentments, and reveal the fragility of trust, even within the brotherhood of law enforcement. The discovery of Chief Walker's body on a cold November morning sent shockwaves through the police department. He was found in his office, lifeless, a single gunshot wound shattering the stillness. The news spread like wildfire, leaving officers stunned and the city in disbelief. Chief Walker was a beloved figure, a man who embodied integrity and leadership. The initial shock soon gave way to a frantic search for answers. Who would commit such a heinous act? What motive could possibly justify the murder of a respected law enforcement leader? The investigation began immediately, with every detective, including Nealy, determined to bring the perpetrator to justice. However, as the hours turned into days, the investigation took an unexpected turn. Suspicion began to swirl around Nealy himself. His close relationship with the chief, coupled with his access to the crime scene, made him a person of interest. Whispers turned into accusations, and the detective who had dedicated his life to upholding the law now found himself on the other side of the interrogation table. Detective Michael Nealy was a man of contradictions. He was known for his sharp intellect and unwavering dedication to his job, yet he also carried a quiet intensity that hinted at a darker side.
His colleagues respected him for his skills as an investigator, but some also noted a certain aloofness, a distance that made him seem both intriguing and intimidating.
Nealy's personal life was just as complex. He had gone through a bitter divorce a few years prior, a separation that had left him emotionally scarred. His dedication to his work often came at the expense of his personal well-being. He had poured himself into his career, seeking solace in the pursuit of justice. But this dedication had also created friction in his relationships. When the investigation into Chief Walker's death pointed towards Nealy, it seemed almost inconceivable. Could the dedicated detective, the man who had dedicated his life to upholding the law, truly be capable of such a crime? The accusations sent shockwaves through the department, dividing loyalties and raising uncomfortable questions about the man they thought they knew.
The interrogation room, a space usually reserved for suspects, became a crucible for Nealy's own integrity. The familiar setting, the harsh lights, the two-way mirror, all served as a stark reminder of his sudden shift in status. He was no longer the one asking the questions. He was the one being scrutinized, his every word and gesture analyzed for signs of guilt.
The detectives assigned to the case, men who had once been Nealy's colleagues, now viewed him with suspicion. Their questions were sharp, their gazes unwavering, their determination to uncover the truth palpable. Every question felt like an accusation, every pause a confirmation of their doubts. Nealy maintained his innocence, his voice firm, his eyes defiant. He answered their questions with precision, providing alibis, explaining his actions, and vehemently denying any involvement in the chief's death. As the interrogation wore on, a strange sense of role reversal began to take hold. Nealy, the seasoned detective, found himself employing the same tactics he had used countless times on suspects. He analyzed their body language, noted their subtle cues, and anticipated their lines of questioning. The interrogation became a battle of wits, a psychological duel between accuser and accused. The investigation into Chief Walker's death unearthed a web of complex relationships and simmering resentments within the police department. Interviews with officers revealed a mixture of shock, disbelief, and a growing sense of unease. Some expressed unwavering support for Nealy, vouching for his character and integrity. They described him as a dedicated officer, a man who would never betray his badge or his oath. Others, however, voiced doubts, their words laced with hesitation and suspicion. They recounted instances of Nealy's aloofness, his tendency to isolate himself, and his occasional outbursts of anger. Rumors spread about possible motives, fueled by whispers of professional rivalry and personal grudges. Some suggested that Nealy had been envious of the chief's success, resenting his authority, and harboring a desire for advancement. The investigation also uncovered a history of conflict between Nealy and Chief Walker. There had been disagreements over cases, clashes of personality, and a growing tension that had simmered beneath the surface of their professional relationship. These revelations, coupled with the lack of a clear alternative suspect, solidified Nealy's position as the prime suspect in the eyes of many. The psychological complexities of the case added another layer of intrigue. Experts were brought in to analyze Nealy's behavior, seeking insights into his mental state and exploring the possibility of a motive rooted in deeper psychological turmoil. Some pointed to the potential for repressed anger stemming from his difficult divorce and the emotional toll of his demanding career. They suggested that Nealy's dedication to his work might have masked a well of unresolved pain, a reservoir of negative emotions that could erupt in unpredictable ways. Others explored the possibility of professional jealousy as a driving force. Nealy's ambition, his desire to excel, and his close relationship with Chief Walker could have created a breeding ground for resentment. The possibility of a promotion, the allure of power, and the fear of being overshadowed could have pushed Nealy to the brink. The complexities of ambition, the corrosive nature of envy, and the potential for despair to warp judgment were all considered as potential contributors to the tragedy. The psychological analysis painted a picture of a man grappling with inner demons, struggling to reconcile his public persona with the turmoil brewing beneath the surface. Whether these inner struggles could manifest in violent action remained a subject of debate, but they added a chilling dimension to the investigation. As the investigation progressed, witness accounts emerged that seemed to further implicate Nealy. A neighbor reported seeing him near the chief's house on the night of the murder, casting doubt on his alibi. A fellow officer recalled an argument between Nealy and the chief just days before the shooting, suggesting a possible escalation of their conflict. A former girlfriend of Nealy's came forward with disturbing information, claiming that he had confessed to her in a moment of drunken despair that he wanted to get rid of the chief. Her testimony, though potentially biased and fueled by personal resentment, added another layer of suspicion to the case. These witness accounts, though circumstantial and potentially unreliable, created a narrative that seemed to incriminate Nealy. The prosecution seized upon these accounts, weaving them into a tapestry of guilt, portraying Nealy as a man driven by jealousy and consumed by a desire for revenge. The defense countered by highlighting the inconsistencies in the witness statements, emphasizing their lack of credibility and suggesting alternative interpretations of the events. The case against Detective Nealy went to trial, transforming the courtroom into a battleground of legal maneuvering and emotional testimony. The prosecution presented their case meticulously, building a narrative of ambition, jealousy, and cold-blooded murder. They highlighted the circumstantial evidence, emphasized the witness accounts, and painted a picture of Nealy as a man capable of betraying his badge and taking a life.
The defense countered with a vigorous defense, challenging the prosecution's evidence and presenting an alternative interpretation of the events. They attacked the credibility of the witnesses, emphasized the lack of a clear motive, and argued that I was a victim of circumstance, falsely accused due to my close relationship with the victim. The trial became a media spectacle, with every twist and turn of the case scrutinized by the public. The jury was left to grapple with the complexities of the evidence, the conflicting accounts, and the psychological puzzle at the heart of the case. The fate of Detective Nealy, once a respected officer, now hung in the balance, dependent on the judgment of 12 strangers.
The trial ended with a hung jury, unable to reach a unanimous verdict. The prosecution declined to retry the case, leaving Nealy in a state of legal limbo. He was never convicted of the crime, but the shadow of suspicion continued to linger over him. He returned to the police force, but his reputation was forever tarnished. His colleagues treated him with a mix of caution and distrust, unsure of what to believe. The camaraderie he had once shared was gone, replaced by a palpable tension.
Nealy struggled to rebuild his life, haunted by the accusations and the lingering doubts. I withdrew from social interactions, seeking solace in solitude. The scars of the investigation ran deep, leaving me emotionally drained and wary of forming close relationships. The case had taken a toll on my physical and mental health. I suffered from insomnia, anxiety, and a constant sense of unease. The once confident detective was now a shadow of his former self, a living testament to the devastating consequences of suspicion and the enduring power of doubt. I continued to maintain my innocence, but the stain of the accusation remained, a permanent mark on my soul.
The case of Detective Michael Nealy stands as a chilling reminder of the complexities of human nature and the fragility of trust. It highlights the devastating consequences of suspicion, the enduring power of doubt, and the profound impact of betrayal, even within the brotherhood of law enforcement. The investigation into Chief Walker's death exposed the dark undercurrents that can exist within any organization, revealing the potential for jealousy, ambition, and resentment to fester beneath the surface of seemingly harmonious relationships. Nealy's story raises uncomfortable questions about the presumption of innocence, the burden of proof, and the lasting impact of accusations, even when they are not proven in a court of law. It serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even those sworn to uphold the law are not immune to the corrosive effects of suspicion and the devastating consequences of betrayal. The case also underscores the importance of seeking truth, the need for thorough investigations, and the crucial role of due process in ensuring justice. It reminds us that the pursuit of justice must always be tempered with fairness, compassion, and a recognition of the human cost of accusations and the enduring power of doubt.